Hi there, and welcome back to another episode of Sitting in a Car podcast. I'm Sarah Sproul, and I sit in a car and answer parents' questions about sex. You and I sit in a car together every week and talk about how to raise a confident and caring young person who respects themselves and the people around them. So the question for this week is, if asked a question, I give basic answers to my son aged 8. For example, how does baby get out? Answer, the doctor helps. Question, does it come out your bum? Answer, yes. If no more questions, do I leave it or do I expand? Thank you. Excellent question. First of all, I want to say you are doing an awesome job. Your kid obviously knows that he can ask you questions, and that means you have shown him that you are open and willing to talk about it. Super. Few things to say about this. First one is, when kids ask us questions, we can give simple answers, but it's also possible to give simple, accurate answers. So a child that is 8 is well able to understand that there are different, I say holes, but different openings in our bodies, right? So look at our head, right? We have an opening here, we have an opening here, we have openings here. Where our genitals are, men or people with a penis have 2 openings. They have a urethra where wee comes out, and they have the anus where poo comes out. In people with a uterus and a vulva, there are 3 openings. There's an opening where poo comes out, there's an opening where urine or wee comes out, and there is an opening where menstrual blood or babies come out. So if a child who is 8, in fact, a child of any age, it is a really good idea to use the accurate words, if we can, if that's comfortable for you, to use accurate words so they understand that there are lots of different anatomical structures in our bodies, particularly the female body, because there's a lot of sort of shame and ignorance around the vulva and the vagina. And so we can start at a very early age to start teaching all our kids, it doesn't matter what sort of genitals they have, about the accurate names for all the parts. So the question is, if there's no more questions from the child, does a parent leave it at that, or do we expand? And it's going to be up to you really and your comfort level, but I would say that when there are opportunities to have these conversations, seize them and make them rich. So your child is showing you that he's open to hearing information. In fact, he's seeking information. He wants information. So as well as using accurate terms, you could say things like, there are different ways for babies to be born. Some babies are born because the uterus can squeeze them in a special way and help them go out of a vagina. Another thing you could say is sometimes, for whatever reason, babies can't be born through the vagina. And so then a special doctor will create an opening in the abdomen of the pregnant person, and they can open up the skin and open up the muscles and open up the uterus and find the baby in there and help that new human being be born out through that special opening. And then they sew up that special opening, and then the mum needs to recover from that. It's a bit like having an operation. You could also say things like, there are lots of questions kids ask about this sort of thing. Sometimes they ask, how does the baby get in there? So if you would like to know that, you can let me know. So you're prompting them by asking other questions that they might want to ask you in return. Because there will be a point in most children's lives where they don't feel comfortable asking questions anymore. And so we need to, if at all possible, get as much information into their heads as we can before that time. And your son is 8, so usually the squick factor or that real awkwardness happens for children between 8, 9, and 10. They start getting so awkward about these things that they don't want to talk to us about them anymore. So use the opportunity to have as much of a rich conversation as you can. You are doing a good job, parent. Nicely done. And that's Sitting in a Car for another week, where I've answered your question to help you raise a confident and caring young person who respects themselves and the people around them. Bye for now.